Hey, what's going on, people? Your boy Mad Mike coming at you guys with an impromptu recap. After last night, we had a long talk with the fellas last night. I intended to kind of go live shortly afterwards, but didn't have the opportunity. We were really talking about this Atlanta Falcons team, and for several reasons. I think you all kind of saw it last night for the most part, and I was thoroughly impressed. But for reasons a lot of people may overlook, I know a lot of people are saying to themselves, "Oh my God, man, it's just a preseason game," but I don't see it that way. I think a lot of Falcons fans probably don't see it that way. What's up, Jerry? How you doing? What I saw last night was incredibly encouraging for reasons outside of just the Atlanta Falcons. For reasons outside of just the status quo. The status quo is pretty much they won. They won the game. I think that's the status quo for everybody. We just look at the end result and say, all right, we won 19-3. But kind of give my recap on the game, and this won't take long. So you guys, after I'm done, head over to Coach Unchained. He will be going live on AFN to give his thoughts on the game as well. We're going to be doing continue. We're going to continuously do shows like this, the recaps. Yeah, I'm sure that you guys are more than aware that how we do things during the season. We have several recaps, and we're going to be doing a little bit differently. We're going to be doing some heavy hitters live post game show right after the game. We're going to do the AFN post game, so we might have two post game shows for two different reasons. The second one on AFN may be more so of a fan reaction. So again, this is the reason why you want to subscribe to the Heavy Hitters live channel. We're almost at um, 100 subscribers over there. So again, man, help us get to 500 before the season starts. So everybody, head over to the Heavy Hitters live show. We truly appreciate it. But let's get back into this this recap. First of all, I want to say this. I really want to say this, and I want to make this. Um, I'm extremely ecstatic about the coaching staff. This is something that we've, for quite some time, have been struggling to find, and a coach that's not only a hard ass, but a coach that demands excellence from not only his players but his coaches. There are a couple of instances on the defensive side of the ball. Um, the defense side of the ball where they didn't get the substitutions in as fast. You saw where coaches and players didn't get in the right position. They didn't know what they were. And Arthur Smith got in their behind, and he didn't just get in the behinds of the the players. It was the coaches, and that right there, my friend, I think that is when you look at this entire thing. Um, that's where it's in. That's for me. That's where it's encouraging because you see not only the head coach, he's holding players responsible. He's holding these coaches responsible. We go back to Super Bowl where, you know, let's be real. Kyle Shanahan was just running amok, and we had a head coach that was just letting him do it. He didn't hold them accountable. Um, Situational football in that Super Bowl was just absolutely ridiculously bad. Um, we had a ridiculously bad, playoffs as far as that concerned. Super Bowl as far as that concerned. The situational football and not understanding where you need to be for the most part. And I think for me, man, that's the number one thing when it comes down to what I saw last night. Arthur Smith holding his coaches accountable. the defense. He was getting into Ryan Nielsen when the defense has had, bad, a bad situational substitutions and those things. Didn't have a lot of penalty as far as that the defense is concerned. But another thing outside of the first thing, the first thing that stated was the coaching. Arthur Smith holding players accountable. The second thing that I saw is it was incredibly encouraging to see a guy like Logan Woodside. The guy has been a practice squad quarterback for Tennessee and Arthur for quite some time. To see him in the first half of the game, playing with the twos, a lot of threes and fours in the second half of the games. But in the first half of the game, I think he did a tremendous job of staying. I think he did a tremendous job of staying consistent. I think he did a good job of staying, within. I think he did a good job of staying within the confines of the offense. He didn't go out of his element. He was 14 of 23, 146 yards. Could have had a couple of touchdowns there. He was sacked 4 times, but most of those sacks came in the second half of when they had the kind of 3 and 4 string offensive linemen. Did a good job. Godwin and Bouquet. First of all, hold on. Let me say this about Logan Woodside. The fact that he came in and did a very good job of kind of getting acclimated and getting everybody in the right spot. That's what you want to see out of your quarterbacks in the right. Falcons didn't have a ton of off, you know, offsetting penalties, well, not so much offsetting penalties, but the penalties where, legal procedure, not being in the right spot, those types of things, delay of games, didn't have those until the second half of the game, where guys just didn't know where they need to be. And roughly, for the most part, that comes with guys that are just not, they're new to the system, they're young, they're rookies. You have a guy like Carlos Washington Jr. He had kind of a blunder as far as his not getting his head around when Logan needed him to be an outlet as far as the pass receiving. It's just rookie mistakes like that we didn't see a lot, and Logan pretty much did a good job of that. So if for whatever reason, something happens to Desmond Ritter, something happens to Taylor Heineke, for the most part, I think we know we'll be in trouble. But it's encouraging to see that a coach is doing a great job of not only teaching the number one guy and Desmond Ritter, the number two guy and Taylor Heineke, but we saw a good game against a pretty good, not only defensive team, but an overall team in Miami. So I like what I saw from that standpoint. Logan Woodside did a good job of, running the offense, and Arthur Smith, Dave Ragone, those guys are doing a wonderful job of getting our quarterbacks ready. The running back position, Godwin, Ig, Bouquet, he did a good job. He had 13 carries, 70 yards, a touchdown. Where the offensive line, they would just dominate the entire game. When I tell you these guys were dominant, they took it to Miami. They took it to Miami defensive line. And this is a defensive line in Miami that's been together for a minute, but they took it to them. Taking consideration that these guys, you're dealing with the second, third, and fourth string, but at the end of the day, when you look at what we saw in regards to, the the um, the messages as far as not only the Atlanta Falcons media, but the Dolphins media, that the Falcons all week have been, pretty much dominant. We saw that tonight. They were destroying both sides of the ball. So Godwin and Bouquet, he did a great job of, coming in and doing what he had to do as far as just being that fourth or fifth string, probably a practice squad. He giving himself an opportunity to to play for not only this team but perhaps if he get cut, he gets some eyes on him as far as another team is concerned. So Godwin and Igwebuike, he did a good job. Carlos Washington Jr. 12 carries for 27 yards. Didn't get off as he didn't get off like Igwebuike did, but he had a pretty good job. He did a pretty good job as far as making the most out of his opportunities and being able to shine. Now he has a long ways to go when it comes down to his progression as he's a rookie. He's going to make rookie mistakes, and like I said before, when you look at his opportunity, when you look at his opportunity in the passing game, didn't do a great job. In the running game, didn't do a great job, but it's a learning experience for him, and he's going to continue to get more opportunities if he does, in fact, keep progression. Um, you have Xavier Malone, another guy that got an opportunity yesterday. I did not know we still had JJ Arcega Whiteside. Didn't know we still had him. He had a catch for 20 yards. Carlos Washington Jr. caught the ball in the passing game for three receptions, 20 yards. Tucker Fisk had a pretty good job. Every time I turned around, he was making some big plays as far as catching, making the most out of his opportunities. 3 targets, 3 catches. Um, Josh Ali dropped a big time pass from Logan Woodside. It was on the money, right in stride, and he dropped the ball. And these are the opportunities as a wide receiver you got to make the most of because you never know if you're going to get another opportunity. So, Josh Ali, I like what I saw out of him, but if guys like Frank Darby end up making plays in his opportunity in his times. I think for the most part you may see Frank Darby play next game or the last game where he can showcase his skills. So you can't drop those plays. You can't drop those balls when you get an opportunity to make a play. Josh Ali, you gotta haul that in. That was an egregious drop. You cannot have that happen. Those are the plays during the course of a game that loses you the game. So Josh Ali might be on the cut. Scotty Miller, again, he was the one who came in, caught a pass for 9 yards. He looked pretty good. Penny Hart had an opportunity. He caught a pass. But Matthew Sexton is a guy that I think the Falcons are really going to kind of hold on to him because he showcased some speed last night that even I didn't know. Some not only speed, but the athleticism. He did a great job of showing his athleticism. And I think he's a guy to kind of keep on. And this is another reason why Josh Ali, when you get your opportunities to make a big play, you cannot miss it. You cannot miss it whatsoever. So I know no, for the most part, he played well, but these are the things. When you get an opportunity, you have to take it. You have to sit on it. You have to make the best of it. And I think Josh Ali pretty much just, I don't think he did himself a favor by dropping that pass. Um, because so many, the Falcons have so many players on the roster right now that especially at the wide receiver position, that can make plays. So I expect Josh Ali to. I think Josh Ali probably gone. One guy on the offensive line that I think a couple of guys on the offensive line I think did a good job, and that is two guys. Ryan Newsel did a good job at the center position. Didn't have a lot of penalties. He was getting to the second level. I think that's another guy that you can kind of, scratch in, etch in as a potential backup behind Chris Dahlman, Matt Hennessy. But Ryan Newsel is making he's making he's making it known that he wants to be a part of this team. And I think one guy that you could quite possibly see on the cut is Matt Hennessy. Now I don't like it. I think he's going to get his opportunity, but it really puts up my antenna when I see a guy like the rookie. Oh my God, Matt Bergeron. Bergeron. When you see Bergeron is not playing in the first game, and you would think him being a rookie that he would be the guy that's playing in this game. It's not looking good for a guy like Matt Hennessy. And I think Bergeron, in my opinion, will be the starter at left guard. Now he still has to play, and he's going to have his opportunity to play with the starters and play in the next couple of preseason games. But I think Matt Hennessy is, injuries. We tell you about those injuries, man. It's like there's no uh, greater gift for athletes than availability. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you're continuously hurt, you're no good to your team. And this is something that, for the last couple of years for Matt Hennessy, that he's been injured and it cost him games. So he has to be able to play. So I think Bergeron, for the most part, he has the upper hand as far as that left guard position because of his ability to just stay healthy. Like he can't stay healthy right now, Matt Hennessy. So as far as the defense is concerned, DeMarco Hellams had a hell of a game. Okay, he had a hell of a game. He had a pick. Um, 7 total tackles. Kind of went out with a shoulder injury. Came back in later in the game. Tay Davis had a tremendous game, man. That dude is making. He making a he's making it difficult on guys like Michael Walker. Michael Walker, if he does not show in the next couple of preseason games, he's going to be a backup. And I think for the most part, Tay and Michael Walker, those guys. Mike Jones. I saw Mike Jones. He made a play. He was gifting at the quarterback using his athleticism. That's another linebacker that the Falcons have that I think is going to be, interesting to see. But I think Michael Walker, he has to make he has to make a better stride for me. I'm not seeing where he's stepping out. And I know Michael Walker is a player with experience. He has athleticism. But when you got guys like Tay Davis, you have Nate Landman. Nate Landman had a sack last night. D'Angelo Malone had 4 tackles. And a lot of these linebackers, man, these guys are making these guys are making an impact. Defensively, I think the Falcon defensive line from the front to start, everybody. You have a guy in Huggins. He did a great job. Albert Huggins, he's of the XFL. Arnold Ebiketie I think he was just toying with those guys last night. Arnold Ebiketie could be quite possibly the sack guy for this team. And I know that may sound crazy because we got a guy like Grady Jarrett, but when you have a Grady Jarrett, Omen Yada, you have a Calais Campbell, man, a guy like Arnold Ebiketie, he can benefit from those one-on-one opportunities. And last night I saw him showcasing spin moves, chops. This dude was just throwing all his moves against that second and third guy. And I love what I saw. And I have to give the credit to Ryan Nielsen. This guy, you can already see the impact of what he has on his defensive line. So when it all comes to it, man, you have D'Angelo Malone. I saw flashes of him. He's doing a great job. Albert Huggins, he's making a case for himself to be on a team. On an Ebiketie, you have Timmy freaking Horn. Oh my God, that Timmy Horn looked like an absolute monster. I'ma just be real. That dude looks like he's going to be an unsung hero in the rotation for this defensive line. The Falcon defensive line, for the first time in quite some time, are deep. And I gotta give credit to not only Terry Fontenot, Arthur Smith, and even going back to Dean Pease, who brought these guys in. These guys look like absolute players. They're developing well, and like I said, you can see the impact and the aggression and the attitude that they're taking from Ryan Nielsen. He's doing a hell of a job. So, out of all of those guys, one guy that I will say, he's just not helping himself. But if you look at, what he does well, and that's Ogum Daisy just isn't standing out. I think that is a bad, bad omen for him. He has to step out. He's playing the run extremely well. He's good at doing that, but at some point, you're gonna have to get after the quarterback. You have to showcase your ability to stop the run, or else you're just gonna be a situational player, and not a situational player in the passing game, but a situational player in the run game. And most defensive linemen who are situational players in the run game don't get over 15 snaps in a game. So if Ogum Deji wants to make this team, he's going to have to showcase some sort of skill of getting at the pass rush, and I'm just not seeing it. As far as the special team is concerned, I think we all know D. Alford just pretty much solidified his spot as the guy. He's. I think he may be the punt guy. Penny Hart. He's another guy that's on the bubble as far as the potential cut because of what we saw from D. Alford. Mike Hughes is another guy that could quite possibly be a part of that special team. So the Falcons are so deep when it comes down to this, just having different types of guys in different positions, and it's making it hard, but it's creating that competition. That's all. That's what you want, is create a competition amongst your team. So, like I said, man, Coach Unchained is going to go live on Atlanta Falcons Nation. I just wanted to kind of give my 2 cents on what I saw last night. And I will say this, for all those people who worried about Young Waku, look, it happens. It's a kicker. Kickers are incredibly inconsistent. I wouldn't say inconsistent, but they're temperamental. They can kick 50, 60, 70 kicks in a row, nail them all, 60 in a row, and then they fall one time or they have one mishap and then go on this incredibly goofy streak where they can't hit anything. This is a part of being a kicker. And at the end of the day, Young Waku, the Falcons signed him to a 3-year, I believe it was a 3-year extension. So he's going to be here for a minute. I'm not worried about Young Waku. I'm not worried about him the least bit. He'll get it together. And even if he did, man, like I said, it's kickers. These are what we do. These are the things that happen with kickers. And at the end of the day, man, Young Waku, I think he deserves more respect than what he's been given by this fan base. He missed a couple of extra points, and we always say, too, even in the NFL, there's no such thing as a sure thing, even if you've been doing it for years. And Young Waku, like I say, he's done a great job for us the past 3 years or so, and he deserves more opportunity. And let's be honest, there's not a lot of kickers on the street that you can come in and sign. It's not like Morton Anderson is still 30 years old. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to find another great kicker just like that out of the blue. And Young Waku did a great job. He's been an excellent teammate. And like I said, it's just the way it is with kickers. So you guys head over to Atlanta Falcons Nation right now. Coach Unchained, he's going to go live. So I appreciate everybody for allowing me to get up this morning and show what I thought about it. So at the end of the day, this has been your boy Mad Mike with his first preseason recap. Again, head over to Atlanta Falcons Nation, Coach Unchained. Subscribe to Coach Unchained channel so you guys can get your thoughts. Hell, he might let a couple people on today. You never know. But head over to Atlanta Falcons Nation. This will conclude Mad Mike's quick Right? Normally go about an hour, but um, head over to Atlanta Falcons Nation so we can get even more recap. Hell, I might even show up on there. So that's all I got to say about that. Your boy, man, Mike is out of here, man. Peace.